welcome to my new video. In this video, I want to show you how you can avoid exactly this situation. I'm sure many viewers have experienced this before. What's to blame? Simple. The cold season is coming and our battery is too old or broken. I just want to show you how you can measure or test whether your battery is still good and how you can ultimately get and install a new battery. Let's just start with a quick test of our battery. There are three simple methods to test the battery and see if it's still good or not. For all three methods, please proceed as follows. You drive your vehicle for an extended period, meaning you cover a certain distance or charge your battery, and then park your vehicle. And let it sit for at least 5 or 6 hours so that the battery can settle down a bit. Once the time has passed, we can, for example, drive our vehicle in front of a wall, turn on our headlights, and simply wait a bit. If we see here that the brightness decreases after a short time, that's an indication that the battery may no longer have enough power and might need to be replaced. A slightly better method is to gain access to the battery. Check your documents to find your battery's location. Mine is under the air filter. I have to remove this one. And now I have access to my battery. Now there are two methods to determine here if the battery is good. For example, if you've bought a newer battery, just check the top. Newer batteries have an indicator here. If this lights up green, the battery is usually still okay. If this indicator no longer gives any light signal at all, the battery needs to be replaced. For the third option, I've just prepared something here. We have a new and an old battery here. Both batteries were fully charged, and that was several hours ago. Let's look at these two batteries, either by using a voltmeter or a multimeter, both of which you can buy relatively cheaply. Let's just start with the multimeter. We'll set it to direct current. We hold the test probes to the correct terminals. Don't reverse the polarity. This is the positive terminal, that's the negative, and we get our result. We can see the battery has a voltage of 12.55 volts, which is safely within range. I can give you some values here. The battery should have well over 12 volts of voltage, ideally between 12.4 and 12.7 volts. If the battery is within this range, it's okay. Now let's take a look at this slightly older battery. Here too, we'll determine the result. And we can see this battery is already very weak. That means I had actually just charged the battery. Despite all that, it has dropped to 9.48 volts. So what that means is, with this battery, especially at colder temperatures, we definitely won't be able to start our vehicle anymore. We've noticed our battery isn't performing well and want to replace it. But how do we do that? After all, we also need to get the right model for our vehicle. We can't install just any battery. There are important factors to consider. I'll remove my battery so we can look at the different points together. Before removing the battery, please check the vehicle's manual again. There may be some vehicle-specific points to consider here before we can remove the battery. Of course, it's also important to make sure the vehicle is parked properly, secured, and everything is turned off. Start by disconnecting the negative terminal. Always begin with the negative terminal when working with the battery. Secondly, I disconnect the positive terminal. Now I can open the battery holder so I can remove it. When removing the battery, be careful. The battery is very heavy and please don't drop it because there is battery acid inside. To get a new battery, as I said, we need data from the old one. There are several ways to do this. First, it's usually enough if you have your vehicle registration or title on hand, and at the top here, you simply have the car key number or identification number. Alternatively, we can identify the battery by ampere hours. I need one with 60 to 66 ampere hours. It's important to check the terminals. There are also various car manufacturers who use different terminals. These are the standard terminals and dimensions. Here too, we should pay attention to which dimensions we can actually install in our vehicle. This battery measures 23 centimeters, 230 millimeters, and has an installation height. Here you have to pay attention. You also have the connection poles here. You have to include them as well, also about 22 to 23 centimeters. Make sure that the new battery is not significantly larger, otherwise it might not be possible to install it in your car anymore. Then there's another very important point. You absolutely have to pay attention to this, and that's the polarity of the battery. Where is the positive terminal and where is the negative terminal? With some types of vehicles, you need to pay attention to this because sometimes the cables are too short and you might not be able to connect the battery to the vehicle anymore. To get a new battery, I'm here on the website of Yuasa. Here, we'll just take the easiest way to identify our battery. We can search here using our registration certificate part 1, or we can also search for the batteries by the item name accordingly. I'll just search now using the registration certificate. Here, all compatible models are now displayed to us. The nice thing about this is that we can also see the vehicle model where we want to install the battery. And we also have a battery shown here, which we can use to identify the battery accordingly. Now we've found the right battery here and can then purchase it from a dealer accordingly. The new battery arrived. Before installing it, please make sure that the battery is properly charged. It's simple. We just check the indicator and it's green. We can start installing the battery now. Let's proceed with the installation. It's important to make sure that the battery is properly installed back into the vehicle. And one more note, the battery usually has protective caps here. Of course, these need to be removed before installation. Now, we'll start again with the positive terminal. That means we connect the positive terminal to the battery first. And then, as the second step, the negative terminal. Don't forget to properly secure your battery in the vehicle again. And with that, we've completed the replacement. All right, and now for the final test. And we can see the replacement was successful. That means we have a properly functioning battery in use again. Here's another important note. The battery installed here was provided to me by Yuasa. It's also important to mention here that Yuasa is the largest battery manufacturer in Asia and one of the largest battery manufacturers worldwide. All batteries from this manufacturer are original equipment quality, but of course they are based in Germany. If you enjoyed or found my video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more videos? No problem, just subscribe to my channel here. Because subscribing on YouTube is of course free. To avoid missing my future videos, click the bell icon next to subscribe. I'll say goodbye for now. See you next time. You're Marc on YouTube.